Today on the LA Food Podcast, we've got a special midweek pod for you to celebrate the return of Top Chef. Top Chef is returning tonight for a very special season 20. It's Top Chef World All-Stars. For the first time, they're bringing together winners and finalists from past editions all over the globe to battle it out head-to-head in London town, governor. Cousin Saul is joining me to preview the season, and to give us a little skin in the game, we're going to conduct our very own fantasy Top Chef draft. Who's going to build the best team? Well, you're going to have to listen to find out. So don't pack your knives just yet, because it's time to chow down. Welcoming back to the podcast for the first time in a few weeks, it's Cousin Saul. How you doing today, Cousin Saul?
I'm doing well, man. Busy day, but always got time for you, my man.
Thank you. Is it a busy day pursuing your goal of becoming the next social media intern for the Infatuation Seattle?
Wait, I can't believe we're still talking about this. No.
Well, look, in my experience, until a campaign goal is achieved, we don't stop talking about it.
Fair enough. No, I've got no new hashtags working. I've just been sitting brainstorming in a dark room how to get this job, and it's not working, and that's why I'm so busy.
Listeners, if you have ideas on how Cousin Saul can get the attention of Amy Rizzo and the Infatuation Seattle, please drop them in our DMs, and we'll see if we can put those into action. And no idea is too crazy.
I hate this bit so much. All right.
Well, speaking of bits, I also wanted to just give the listeners some background. Would it be fair to say that you and I have gambling addictions?
Oh, it's definitely fair to say that you have a gambling addiction. It's fair to say that I like to exploit your gambling addiction for free money and dinner and drinks whenever I know that you will definitely take a bet that I will definitely win. Check Kai Havertz's stats for the season to know how.
Yeah, this is a fair point. So, for background listeners, we used to be roommates, and when Cousin Saul and I were roommates, we made a habit of betting on pretty much everything. Primarily, though, it was beer pong, and I think there's one beer pong game that lives in infamy, and it's food related.
Oh, it is indeed. Yeah, it was. First of all, it was a best of 7 series of beer pong, which is an insane decision to make on a probably Thursday night, maybe Friday. And the bet was the loser would have to pay for dinner at the newly opened Officina Brera in the Arts District of LA. A restaurant whose price point I do not think we realized when we set the bet.
We were also in our early 20s at this point and broke as a joke. Could not afford to eat at Officina Brera even if we were splitting the check. Yet we thought it was a good idea to bet Officina Brera as the prize for this beer pong competition. And you want to tell the people at home who ended up winning?
Well, I obviously did. But what really made it was that we went 6 games, three games each. We had a game 7 to play, but we had to make it to dinner. So we go to this dinner not knowing who's ultimately going to be responsible for Venmoing the full cost. And we have a game 7 beer pong to play afterwards. Now, I don't know about you, 6 beer pongs deep going to dinner where we also had like a couple glasses of wine. I barely remember the dinner itself.
Single thing we ate that night. I do remember, however, that when we got home, we played that beer pong game. I ended up losing, and all of a sudden owed you something like $350.
Oh my god, it might have been more than I thought. It was $350 like an installment, maybe like $250 in like multiple installments. And I remember literally it was back against the wall desperation. I saw that check, I was like, I can't go down like this, and it was just pure Michael Jordan, Game 7, I am not paying this bill. And that took months. months for you to pay off.
Yeah, I didn't have the cash to actually pay it, so Saul ended up paying it on his credit card, and I was paying him back like a cheap landlord, like an absent landlord for months afterward. It was honestly probably rock bottom for me. But has it stopped us from betting and gambling in general?
No, it has not. If anything, that was a real accelerant moment for whatever reason. That's how you know you have a problem. You were like, this could ruin my life, and yet I want more, and that leads us to where we are today.
Yeah. So speaking of competition, speaking of gambling, we are on the eve of one of the most exciting competitions on the planet. it begins tomorrow.
Can't
Top
wait.
Chef. Top Chef season 20. It's going down. It's a big season. They're going to London to celebrate the big anniversary, and it's Top Chef World All Stars.
Hmm.
How excited are you from a one to Padma Lakshmi?
Ooh, I'm a Padma Lakshmi, I guess, if that's excited. I don't know if she's the best bar for excitement, an incredibly composed and like chill woman, but yeah, if that's the top end, I'm there. I'm super excited, man. I think it's gonna be a really good competition. I
Yeah,
know
I
they're
said
gonna
I
like
said
pull out all the stops for season 20. It's gonna be great.
yeah, and to be clear, I used Padma as like an example of like the pinnacle of human being, not so much
Sure,
pinnacle of excitement.
I
So
got you. I got you.
yeah, so to really enhance our enjoyment of what is bound to be the television event of the year, we're going to do something that we did last year as well, although we didn't pod about it. And it's something that you got from a podcast you listened to. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. There's a great podcast. I think we mentioned them briefly before called Pack Your Knives, run by two actually NBA reporters, Tom Haberstroh and Kevin Arnovitz, who are also big foodies. So these guys are like my favorite reporters ever. They hit my favorite sport and my favorite food show, Top Chef, and they introduced me to Fantasy Top Chef as a competitive concept. We tried it out last year. I think it went fantastically. And hat tip to Kevin and Tom, we're going to go for it again this year, but of course, this time in the public eye.
So, listeners, you are lucky enough to be listening right now to the first ever live draft of the LA Food Podcast's version of Fantasy Top Chef. So, this is how it's going to go. Saul and I are going to go pick for pick, picking contestants that we believe can go far in the competition. Now, we're not going to read the bios to you at the outset because that would probably bore you to death. So, what we're going to do is we're going to make our picks and then give our good rationale based on their bios of why we think that they're a good pick. Now, of course, we have to come up with a mechanism of who goes first. Last time we did a draft on this pod, I just let you go first out of the goodness of my heart, and
That's right.
it was a big mistake. It was a big mistake. So what we're gonna do today is I came up with a game, and it's one that honestly favors you. So we are going to guess how many people the Emirates Stadium can accommodate.
Ooh,
And the person who gets closest to the actual number goes first. Now,
okay.
the Emirates Stadium is the home ground of Saul's favorite soccer team, aka Arsenal.
That's right. That's right. And I actually have a specific advantage here in that I recently went to a few games of the World Cup, and from those games, gotten a sense of how big stadiums typically are for major soccer events. I'm gonna go 70. I might be a
Okay,
little conservative, but I think that's around the ballpark.
okay. I'm gonna
70K.
go. I'm gonna go 80K.
Okay,
Are you ready for the answer?
let's see it.
Damn it! 60 fucking thousand 740.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So
I know
mad.
my boys.
I mean, you don't know your voice, literally. All right, man. Then you know what? You get first pick, and without a further ado, is that the saying? Yeah.
That is the saying.
Uh, please make your first pick. You're on the board.
First pick is a no brainer to me. It's my man, the man who nearly ruined my relationship, Budalo, defending champion of season 19 of Top Chef Houston. He comes in prepared. He knows exactly how to take on the Top Chef gauntlet. He's got the hot hand. A lot of these other folks haven't been on the show in years. Buddha's coming fresh off it. He's talented. He nearly swept his season. I think he's the clear number one pick. And I got to rub it in Emily's face that I have on my team yet again.
Emily being your significant other, not some random person that you just want to victimize in this scenario.
I thought context clues made that clear, but correct, yeah. But also, anyone named Emily out there, in your face. In your fucking face.
Listen, I am very happy you picked Buddha. And
Really?
on my like my practice board, I refuse to pick him first.
Wow.
Here's why. First, huge nerd energy. This is a guy who studied his ass off to win Top Chef. He's a self-proclaimed super fan of the show, and he put in way too much work, and it happened to pay off. But here's why I don't think it'll happen twice. It's because he's too perfect. There are bound to be ups and downs on this journey. There are bound to be bad days, curveballs, things that come out of left field. And frankly, I'm afraid to see what happens to him when one of those things comes his way.
Look, one of the pitfalls or one of the dangers of Top Chef and Top Chef Fantasy is that anyone can lose any given week. They really can. Shota really nearly lost a couple weeks in there during the Portland season 18. It's tough to have a perfect run, but Buddha is a top 3 machine. And I should note that at the end of our draft, we should describe our scoring system for fantasy so folks know how we're being rewarded. But ultimately, the name of the game is someone who's going to be there till the end. Continue to rack up points for your team, and Buddha is that guy. I feel so great about this pick.
Yeah, well, you would, because you also would have felt great about picking, Greg Oden or one of those guys. So Darko Milicic.
We should note very quickly that Buddha is a chef out of Brooklyn, New York. He's executive chef at Marky's Caviar in Huso. That's where he's at. If folks want to learn more, they can, of course, Google Buddha, but just a little bit of bio. That's where he's at. Though he's also, I believe, Singapore-raised and has been all over the world working in Michelin star restaurants.
Yeah.
The kind of championship pedigree anyone would want to see on their team.
Look, narrative is really important to me in Top Chef, and I think it bears out. And he had a pretty good narrative the first season because I believe his father had just passed away.
Yeah.
But dead daddy energy is running out. You can't win off. You just can't win off of that 2 seasons in a row. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. you. All right. Who you got?
Okay. With the second pick in the draft, I am proud to put up Sarah Bradley.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so here's my reasoning. Sarah Bradley competed on Top Chef Kentucky. I believe that was season 16 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I have a general theory that you don't want to pick winners for this. You want to pick runners-up. You want to pick finalists.
Interesting.
They're hungry. They want to come back. They're not resting on their laurels. Sarah Bradley is an incredible Southern chef. She's got that hunger. She lost to KBC, Kelsey Bernard Clark, in the Kentucky finale, and that was a hell of a season. She was pulling out all the stops. She showed what she could do, especially cooking Southern food. But she's got the pedigree. She's cooked in New York, Michelin star restaurants, and so she's got both the pedigree and the fire. She's got that Southern pride, and as we saw on January 6th, that can go pretty far.
Jesus. Yeah, no, it's a good pick. It's a solid pick. She was near the top of my big board. I did not fully watch the Kentucky season, but I am familiar with Sarah and her work, and I knew she was a standout then, so certainly on the radar. However, you left me a tasty pick number 2, technically 3 overall, but my set for the second pick of my team, and I'm excited about that.
All right, who you got then?
It's Don Burrell, man. Now, you say Sarah Bradley's the Southern cook, brings that flavor, brings that skill set. She's never cooked next to fucking Don Burrell, man. Don had the record of the most times I've heard a judge or guest judge be like, holy shit, that was delicious. Now, her fatal flaw.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
Time management. Now she
always runs out of time, bro.
But first of all, she's a finalist, and like you said, hungry. Second of all, a whole season under her belt, a whole year or 2 in between to study the competition, and I just love. I mean, look, you can't. Literally, people would lick their plates clean of Dawn's food, and the reason, by the way, I think she fell short of winning a couple more rounds in her season of Portland was because of the time management thing. So if she can get that slightly under control, the food is nonstop delicious. She's never made a bad dish. I don't think, if you rewatch her season, not a single time were they like, that's bad. They were more like, I wish I had more, or that something wasn't missing.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, it can't be a good dish if there's an entire element missing from it.
Look, you're not wrong.
That happened a lot of times on her season.
a concerning number, and I personally was a Dawn truther. They kept letting Dawn get through, even up to the finale, in spite of her time management issues. And at the time, me being a Shota boy was completely upset at that. But I feel like I want to trust her. I want to trust that she's got the time management under control. And no matter what the flavor is going to be there, they're going to be having Sarah's food next to Dawn, and they're like, Sarah, what is this? Dawn is the Olympian. She's a fucking stud, and I'm really excited to have both her and Buddha on my team.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling she could make an early exit personally. I think that she's also become kind of a Top Chef darling. Since then,
Yes.
she was obviously a guest judge a lot on the Houston season, and she's appeared in the universe since. I think she may be getting a little too big for her britches, you know?
You actually touch on something that is a concern for another one of the chefs on this list, and the reason why I moved him down, which is that when the contestant is too buddy in the Top Chef world, I actually think that becomes a disadvantage in some
Yeah.
ways. I think the bar becomes higher given the familiarity, and that mistakes could be punished harsher instead of the other way around. Like, whether she's buddy with Padma and Tom, they might go easy. No, I think it's going to be like their expectations are really high. So you're right; it's a risk. She could fuck up week one elimination, run out of time, and be home just like that. But if she's learned her lesson, sticks it out, she will be there till the very end.
Yeah, look, I think our first three picks are pretty safe, and I was expecting us to go with like known quantities first
Yep.
because,
Yeah.
of course, this is the first time we're going to ever see a world all stars, meaning we haven't seen a lot of these chefs in action. So
That's right.
it makes sense that we would go with the ones we've seen. I feel like if we had seen all the other seasons, Sarah and Dawn could both be way lower on our boards. But
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we got winners on here, man. We got
Yeah,
true winners
yeah,
of
yeah.
other seasons.
But I'm more confident that Dawn would be lower than Sarah personally. It,
No way, dude. No way.
it's the fatal flaw thing, man. It's the fatal flaw. She is, the tragic hero who just can't give up the vice of being late.
Well, I relate to that too.
Ready?
Here we
I'm
go.
ready for my next pick, if you'll
Let's
allow
go.
me.
Let's go.
We're going with Tom Gutter. We're getting international here. So Tom Gutter, his hometown is Mainz, Germany. He was a finalist again on Top Chef Germany season 1. Okay, so not that recent, and he was a finalist again. So he's hungry. Now I like this guy for a few reasons, knowing absolutely nothing about him. First of all, he looks like the dude most likely to pull the menu. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you look at his picture, he's got this strong, like psychopathic energy. And I haven't actually seen him in action, but going off of basic German stereotypes, I feel like he could pull it off too.
Is that something that's desirable on your team?
100%.
He just convinces your whole squad to commit mass suicide. I don't know if that's what we're looking for. Look, this dude works as a food and beverage executive chef on luxury cruises. You gotta be kidding me, man. This dude was near the bottom of my board.
Look, I also took the tact of looking at their professions to determine who I would pick. Mm-hmm. To me, private chefs, caterers, fuck 'em.
Down near the bottom. Yeah.
No offense to any private chefs or caterers out there. It's just kind of a trope of Top Chef. Like every time you get a private chef on there who's like, I want to show them that you don't have to be a fine dining chef to win here, to get kicked off that episode. You know?
Yeah. They never make it to Restaurant Wars even. I rarely does a private chef make it to, as far as Restaurant Wars. Yeah, no.
No, I'm watching the show right now on Netflix, Drink Masters. It's like Top Chef bartenders. Very good, by the way. The first episode, there's this one chick who's like, oh, I'm not really a bartender. I'm an Instagram bartender, meaning she just makes cocktails and takes pictures of them. She got kicked out so fast, it's not even funny, man.
Obviously.
Yeah, so I just think like there is a hierarchy in terms of professions. And for this one, I initially looked at him too and was like, he cooks on boats. That's a problem. And I've never been on a cruise, but I imagine that cruise food is like bad hotel food. Now, The things I like about it and that swayed me are he trained under Thomas Keller, okay? So he's got the chops, okay?
That's a good sign. Yeah, yeah.
Secondly, have you ever seen the show Below Deck?
I have not, but I'm familiar.
Okay, so Below Deck, tremendous TV. Bravo, at it again. And one of the like recurring characters on Below Deck is always the chef who has to cook for like, really entitled guests and pretty much do miracles. I'm sure that Tommy Gooder here isn't doing Below Deck style cooking. However, I do think you need some resourcefulness in those kinds of scenarios, and I think that might serve him really well in this competition.
That's an interesting take, actually. Yeah, no, I don't hate that take, except I don't know. It's a luxury cruise liner. I'm sure he has everything at his fingertips, except just the audience is like old and lame. I saw cruises and I was like, bro, number 14.
Yeah, maybe he has all the resources at his fingertips, but I also think he's got to have contingency plans. Like, what if? What if it's a March 2020, and there's that first little cough on the boat, and all of a sudden, COVID round 2.
What do you think he was cooking in this scenario?
I mean, he would be.
It's actually a compelling argument. Well, it's interesting to see. It will be interesting to see. And look, Top Chef Germany was not that long ago. I think that was like a 2019 season. So he's a finalist of a relatively recent.
No, finalist. Yeah, finalist. So he's hungry. He's hungry.
Yeah, okay. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Pick number 5. Who you got?
Okay, now we're in more unfamiliar territory, and we're going a little blind. This is someone who I don't necessarily think will win the season, but I think will go far, and it's Nicole Gomes. She was the winner of Top Chef All-Stars Canada. And I think and she's also beaten Bobby Flay. She is familiar with TV. She's won multiple competitions. I think her winner of a Top Chef All-Star season is a great sign for her chops in the competition. And again, to our earlier point, I don't know if and how subconsciously prior winners being less hungry or held to a higher standard might influence the judging here, but it gives me confidence that she'll be in the game for a while. She seems like a steady pick to me. That's why I'm going for her. She's out of Vancouver, Canada.
Vancouver, Canada, and she owns like a chicken store, right?
That's right. I don't hate that. I
kind of like that. I feel like it's always a promising sign when high caliber chefs kind of like do something a little more simple. Mm-hmm. And so I'm in, and it's a great name too. It's called Cluck and Cleaver.
Yep.
So I like that. I do struggle with the notion that anybody who puts that they beat Bobby Flay in their bio is worth selecting. I just think that that's something you don't talk about. It's like you sweep that one under the rug. It's that's the lowest brow of Food Network.
You're not entirely wrong. I don't blame you for saying it, but I'm just going to focus in on the All-Stars, Top Chef All-Stars win for Canada, which is, by the way, a pretty solid and well-developed Top Chef country. They have like 5 seasons deep, at least 5 or 6 seasons. So I trust that pedigree.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't. I also think Canadians in general may be too polite to win this, and I also, her bio says she likes jazz, which I think is a worrying music to like as a chef. I prefer my chefs to be a little bit more structured and on top of it. And jazz is just too improvisational. I want them to have a plan.
You literally cooking and creativity in the kitchen has literally been likened to jazz versus like baking as, I don't know, classical music that you follow the strictures of rules. Jazz is a great mindset to be in the kitchen, in a competition where you're forced to be creative and think on your feet. I love it.
Yeah. Look, and that's just our difference in styles. I went with the German. I want that German precision, German engineering. You want the jazz. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my number 6 pick, I'm going to go with Sam Albert.
Ooh, interesting.
Who presumably is actually Sam Albert because he's French. So he's French. He was a winner of Top Chef France season 10, which I also assume is relatively recent. I like he's from Angers, which is a delightful little town, and I kind of liked that he wasn't from the big city. I think that always sort of gives you a little edge, to have that sort of like provincial angle.
Sure.
The reason I picked him, I really liked that it stresses his meticulous plating, which I think is good in a
Yeah.
competition like this when it's really about like marginal differences. You're really like everybody's making pretty good food, but what makes a plate stand out and maybe immaculate, meticulous plating. I also really liked that he fuses French and Japanese cuisines. I think that's going to give him a nice range of like flavors. And then he's worked in Switzerland, so I have to give him a little nod.
No, there's something intimidating about the world class chef who sticks to the small town. Massimo Bottura for a long time,
Yes.
right? Doing his thing there. And that's like when the chef is also like doesn't need the ego boost, doesn't need the validation. They're like, I know I'm about my business. I can do it at the best. I'm gonna do it exactly where I want to be, Angers, and he can. That is a good vibe. I like that vibe, and I would assume as well that Top Chef France season 10 was relatively recent, probably in the last 4 or 5 years at the latest. And so he's fresh, kind of like a Buddha, fresh off probably a recent win. And yeah, I like the vibe in general. I think he's a good pick. I think he's a solid pick.
Thank you, thank you. I'll be laughing when he goes out the first week.
No, that'll be one of those. I actually know exactly who I would bet on to go out in the first round, by the way. We can talk
Well,
about that
presumably
later.
it's your number 16, but okay. Who you got number 7?
So it's interesting now that now that we're in like unfamiliar territory, how we've rated chefs based on bios. And I actually had, even though now that you've picked him, Sam Albert or whatever, seems like a pretty strong pick. I actually had him 10 just based on bios alone. Um, I'm actually going to go for someone who is number 4 on my overall board, and I have someone else above them, but Luciana Berry. Uh,
Oh,
Winner of Top Chef season 2, Top Chef Brazil season 2, and interestingly, London resident. She's kind of the hometown chef of the season. This is a point that hats up again to Tom and Kevin on Pack Your Knives that they pointed out, and of course you see it on her bio. But it's kind of like a she fits in as the person who knows the local lay of the land, and those people, the hometown chefs, tend to stick around. I know it's like a kind of a fitting it in and like forcing it in some ways. But she is to restaurants in London. She knows it. She won Top Chef Brazil recent season. I think that was 2020, and I think her flavor, Brazilian flavor, and London familiarity combo will go hopefully pretty far here.
I had her at number 15 on my.
What?
Here's why.
Oh, private catering, sure.
Caterer. She's a
Yeah.
caterer.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed that in the bio.
This is like
I'm sticking with
this is
it.
like this is like picking just like a very average 3-and-D wing. Very
Hey,
high.
those are good picks. No, those are good picks. We're middle rounds right now, sort of. Yeah, no, I don't feel terrible about it. Again, I'm hoping the hometown hero aspect will cancel out the private catering aspect.
No,
And
dude.
she's,
Think about
by
this.
the way, don't forget. We said private caterers and private chefs lose Top Chef. She won. She won
Yes,
Top Chef
yes,
Brazil.
but she won Top Chef Brazil. Bro, have you had Brazilian food? It's meat.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it's literally it's grilled meat, dude. It's
I
like
mean, I love grilled meat. Who doesn't love grilled meat? He sounds like a stud.
all I'm saying is I'm not sure how hard it is to win Top Chef Brazil. More power to her, but I also think that I wasn't convinced by her pedigree. I also think I think the hometown shout is interesting. However, if you're thinking about it from a narrative perspective, what you really want is like that Cockney British guy who's like, that's the hometown hero. No one's going to be like this Luciana Berry with her Brazilian ass accent and be like, yeah, that tugs at the heartstrings because she's like paying too much for rent in Notting Hill, Like it's
It is a little strange. They have no, do they have any chefs of British heritage?
not on this. Not on this one, I
so.
don't think.
I don't think so. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it may be a testament to the state of British food. Who knows? Okay, well, with my number 8 pick, then you've left me some pretty good ones on the board with that one. Look, I know I said I didn't believe in Canadians.
Fuck.
I'm going Dale McKay.
Damn it. He was the one who was above Luciana on my list. Damn it. And he was going to be my next pick.
So Dale
Shoot.
McKay, he was the winner of Top Chef Canada won. Is that right?
Yep, that's right.
And the reason I like this is because he's a winner, but he hasn't won in a while. You know, he's
Hmm.
like he's like got Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood energy, where it's like you were once someone, but now you've got something to prove. You know, people are doubting you. You've been out of the spotlight for a little bit, and he's from Canada, okay, granted, but he's also a single dad. And talk about storylines, you know? I mean, single dad doing it for his son Aiden. Aiden is a great child of a single dad name, you know? So I feel like all of this is going to make a great narrative, and I can just see it unfolding beautifully, you know? I also think there was a striking lack of tattooed chefs um, in this roster, and he's got tons of tattoos, so I like that.
I look. This could be the steal of the draft. This could be the mistake, the huge mistake. The Bowie over Jordan, Luciano over Dale. Please, please, Luciano, come through for me. But this is a
She's
this
going
is
home
a
week one, bro. We
oh my
already know.
god, I'm scared. This is a solid pick. Okay, wow, my top six are all off the board.
Yeah, well, I okay, so now we're in dangerous territory. Is that right?
This is true unknowns. I would say true unknowns, except with one notable exception.
Okay, so what do you got now?
I'm gonna shock you, bro.
Wait, no. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna Ali Al Ghazawi, the Jordanian chef, representative of all that I hate most in food in terms of Middle Eastern cuisine. But he's young, he's interesting, he's been all over the world. I think he's a really he actually discovered his passion for food. He used to make 150 sandwiches a day and sell them on campus when he was growing up, including to faculty members. I love sandwiches. You are in the midst of a sandwich countdown. I think he's a very appropriate pick. And even though he's coming from a winner of Top Chef Middle East and North Africa, and again, North African food love, Middle East, squinting at, I'm going to trust him on this. He's a young up-and-comer. I think he'll still be hungry, even though he won a recent season. And I'm excited for this pick. I think he's a little bit of a wild card, but I think he's the kind of face of a Top Chef 20 World All-Star season win that they would like to see.
I feel like I initially had this guy high, but I slowly started to move him down for a couple reasons. One, too many hotels on his bio. Like,
What's wrong with hotels? Nothing wrong
I
with
don't.
hotels.
I feel like hotel food is like kind of subpar. Like some of it
No.
is good, but it's always kind of like a slightly worse version of something you'd get at a restaurant.
I mean,
And
how often are you staying at the Ritz Carlton, bro? I'll ask you that.
I mean, never in my life, but it doesn't mean I haven't eaten at some nice hotels. And I don't know. I just think like I picture hotels as like, you know, the big industrial kitchens where it just doesn't have the same appeal or romance of like the smaller, you know, restaurants, even the ones that are like helmed by world class chefs like the French Laundry. It's just too big slash also too impersonal, and for that it turned me off. Secondly, his bio talked about all this like humanitarian shit he does, and
Yeah.
I thought this guy's attention is a little divided. You know, I thought like he's passionate about sustainability, empowering younger generations, blah blah blah. Okay, what about the food, bro? You know, that's all I'm saying.
You'll see. My team's got heart. My team is conscientious, and therefore will bring the good vibes required to win a proper Top Chef season.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're ready for the next pick.
Let's go.
All right. With pick number nine, with number 10, we're in the tens now. Okay, I'm going with the contestant with the best name in the game,
Oh
May
yeah.
May Ferdinand Thong Thong. this is this
We should
is
we should not laugh. May was pretty low. May was pretty low on my list. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I have some excellent reasons to pick May Ferdinand Thong Thong. So first of all, she taught herself to cook from cookbooks. She couldn't she couldn't afford to go to culinary school. So first of all, she's a chef from Thailand. Again, couldn't afford to go to culinary school, taught herself to cook from cookbooks. That shows mighty resilience. Secondly, Northern Thai flavors are banging. They are so hot right now. I just have a feeling she could be one of those like chefs that really leans into their culture, like Chef Eric. If you remember, I forget which season he was on, but he really leaned into West African flavors. And there was something so personal and powerful about that. And I feel like I could see Chef May going there as well. Also, again, she's a finalist, not a winner, so the hunger is there. So I feel great about this pick.
I think it's a solid pick. And honestly, she should have been higher on my list. I think the reason she wasn't was colored by um, my perspectives towards Northern Thai cuisine. You remember we went to Lotus of Siam in Vegas that one time. I believe that was Northern Thai, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of Thai in general, but there's certainly some Northern Thai dishes on
Yeah,
it.
they had a specialty. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. And that was a blind spot potentially, but this decent pick, good contestant. I like her background, and we'll see if she can hang in London.
I'm pretty sure she will, but who do you think? Who do you think will hang at number 11?
I don't know why we've been avoiding him, but I mean I think we both have for good reason. Amar Santana, I'll pick here. I think this is a solid place for him to slot in. I don't know why he competes well. Finalist for Top Chef California season 13. He has like it's almost like his vibe is too friendly and goofy when he's as a guest judge, and I think he's become really buddy. He's really been in the Top Chef sphere for a while, for a couple seasons now, and I do wonder if they'll hold that against him. So it's a little bit of a risk in that way. But at this point in the draft, I'm pretty comfortable with taking him, and just seeing how it plays out.
Okay, I agree with you. I wasn't sure why he dropped so far down because again, we said known quantities. There's a power
Mm-hmm.
in that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, his energy is too chaotic.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Yeah,
Like there's a frenetic energy that he brings to his competition. It I just it's like watching Uncut Gems, you know? There's
yeah,
like
yeah.
something very unnerving about seeing him at work. He has strong flavors, he's got that like, Dominican thing going on. So he certainly has some very interesting flavors that he brings to the table. But I didn't feel safe in his
Yeah,
hands.
yeah, yeah. And I do wonder if his like increased profile as a judge on the show will be in his head, right? Like I don't want him to be like, thinking not just about the competition, but also the fact that he wants to maintain enough credibility to come back as a judge, so on and so forth. I feel like there's a little bit of like it's not just chaos in the kitchen and chaos in terms of vibe, but chaos in terms of future career prospects here,
Yeah.
which is why I think I let him. But look, at this point in the draft, there are some private chefs left on the list that I'm not looking forward to. There are one or two other more interesting contestants. I will say that I went over, that I chose Amar over, but I think it's a safe spot to take him at this point.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's a spot where you're going to get laughed out of town as a GM. But yeah, I can see. I'm not mad I lost out on him. I'll put it that way.
Sure, sure, sure,
Um,
sure.
which brings me to my next pick, number, what is it, 12? I'm going with Victoire Gulubi.
Interesting. Private chef. A little
Yes,
earlier than you had to.
yes. Private chef, little earlier than I had to, but I feel like Chef Gulubi has some very interesting characteristics. So, first and foremost, I believe she's from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, but her home base, Italy, baby. She's
Yep.
got she's got a really interesting fusion of cultures there. She's
Yep.
worked in some of the top Italian restaurants in Milan, but she brings also her African flavors, and she apparently is very uh, like that's her thing. In Italy, she does some television shows all about like African recipes, African cuisine, and whatnot. So I feel like we're going to see some really interesting combinations of Italian food and African cuisine. So I really like that perspective. I also like the fact that, as I said, she's got that Italian connection, and of course, she's a finalist, not a winner. So the hunger factor is there. So I felt fine about picking Chef Galubi.
Yeah, I don't blame you, and I'm actually going to go private chef as well for my next
Okay,
pick.
who you
I'm
got?
going to go Gabriel Rodriguez. Gabriel Rodriguez. Private chef winner, Top Chef Mexico season 2. That's 2017, a few years ago now. Look, this one's more of a pick from the heart. He started as a dishwasher at Puyol before traveling the country and eventually working his way up to sous chef at Maximo Bistro in CDMX. Just to play a familiar background, a background in restaurants that we love, that we enjoy, a cuisine that I love. I can see. I'm a little nervous. Yes, of him being able to fully flex the Mexican ingredients and flavors out in London. Private chef at this point. We know how we feel about that. He does live in Madrid, Spain now, so it's only a hop, skip, and a jump. But this is more of a likability thing. I like his smile. Looks like a friendly guy. He's got a good vibe.
Yeah,
That's
he's a
why I'm
good
picking
looking
him.
lad. Good
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
lad. For sure.
yeah. For
I
sure.
he was high on my board at first, and then he kept going down the more I read his bio. I was just disappointed in him. Like, okay, as you said, dishwasher Puyol, great. Worked at Maximo Bistro, a restaurant we love in Mexico City. He then went to Mazatlan,
Yep.
to really carve his own path and be the guy there, And I loved that, but then he threw it all away to become a private chef in Spain. It's like when they take money to go like when soccer players take money to go play in like Qatar or something. It's like it shows a lack of hunger. It shows a lack of fire. And to me, you need fire to win in this competition. So I don't have high hopes for Gabby Rodriguez.
I still do, but there is a level of concern. Look, maybe COVID hits, things go crazy. Maybe he just wanted to change the scenery, and private chef makes good buck. That
Okay.
could be it. I'll give him space, and I'm excited. He could be a sleeper.
Yeah. Look, I'm a huge fan of Mexican cuisine. I love Mexican chefs, so I'll be rooting for him a little bit. But now that he's on your team, I definitely won't. But this brings me to my 14th pick. We're going with Begonia
Yeah,
Rodrigo.
yeah.
So Begonia Rodrigo, she is a Spanish chef, I believe. Her restaurant is in Valencia. I I was nervous about her. At first, I thought she was going to be a natural pick for earlier on, but her bio is all about how much she's traveled and stuff, and that made me a little nervous. She gave me like strong like wanderlust study abroad energy, and there's something about that I don't love for a competitor because it shows like a lack of commitment. Shows like tenacity. She's just like out there parading around the world. The one thing I liked about her is that she now has a restaurant in Valencia that has a Michelin star. So she's gotten her own Michelin star. You got a lot of restaurants on this list that have worked at Michelin star restaurants, but this is hers. She earned this herself. So to me, that was her saving grace.
No, it's an interesting. I had her much higher up on the board, and she kept dropping. And look, the Wanderlust critique is nonsense. That was when she was 20 years old. Seems like an adventurous, cool gal or whatever.
No, people don't change, man.
What I will say, the reason why she dropped in my head was there's something about her. I mean, look, she was winner of Top Chef Spain season 1. That's meaningful, and we need to remember that these guys are all winners and finalists. Even the private chefs and caterers, etc., have gone far in a Top Chef style competition. That is to be considered. She, for some reason, given she has her own Michelin star, given she has her own place that she's owned, I was like, she could be, to your point about hunger, the most general. Like, she doesn't have too much more to prove on Top Chef, right? We got finalists in here. We got people who have like Gabrielle, who've like made it to the sous chef level, and then like been executive chef in like Mazatlan, but really I think have something more to prove. I don't know how much Begonia does as a prior Top Chef winner and as a Michelin star holder. She got a pride to not like lose early, but I think it's a different level of hunger that some other applicants or some other contestants might bring to the fold, which may be right, may be wrong. This is someone we're not familiar with, but she was high on my board on the bio and then just kept dropping when I started thinking about motivation and being up for it, so to speak.
No, look, I'm not. She's my 14th pick. I'm not like stoked
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But so I tend to agree with you. However, of all the picks I could have made down here, I'm not mad because I think we both agree she could have been higher up the
She
board.
could have been higher. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. For
All
sure.
right, who you got? Penultimate pick.
I can't believe this has happened to me somehow. But I'm going to
No.
end up with both the Top Chef Middle East, North Africa dudes from Lebanon and Jordan. My least favorite slice of cuisine in the world. I'm going with Charbel Hayek. Charbel Hayek. Look, he is Lebanese. He competed on Top Chef Middle East, North Africa, but he actually cut his teeth in L.A. working at Melis, which is a two Michelin star restaurant, a good place to come up in. Moved back to Beirut where he won the Top Chef season 5, which is deep in there. That means they had a real talent pool and a real established level of competition. And calls his cuisine New American, which I'm not too mad about. Actually lives in Lake Worth, Florida, weirdly, but you know, wait, is that right? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
He was low on the list because of his background. He's a private chef as well. He has some interesting pieces on his bio, Melise in particular, but not the most excited pick I've been. Obviously, he's my last one. We'll take him. We'll see how that goes. Also, I will say from the picture and the fact that he's a quote unquote fitness enthusiast, bad vibe. Bad vibe. Don't love him.
I will say, I didn't love him for a few reasons. One, I actually liked the fact that he was Lebanese, but then he just did a 180 and said that his cuisine is New American. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, you were given a gift, and you trade that up for New American. Then also, this is a man who chose to live in Florida, and he's under 60 years old.
That is a red flag. Yes.
That's a red flag. If
That
I've ever,
is.
this guy's going to be out so fast, it's not even funny, and it's going to be something egregious.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. He also seems like he might have the worst personality on the show, based on nothing, I should say, for Charbel. But it's so funny that you saw damn, he's Lebanese, what a gift, and yet he threw it away for New American. Whereas I was like, oh, he's Lebanese. Well, at least he rebranded to New American. I respect that.
Yeah, well, that's probably why I now am stuck with the pick I'm stuck with.
She'll be out quick, bro.
So with the final, what do they call the final football pick, Mr.
Irrelevant,
Mr.
which
Irrelevant.
Sylvia is Sylvia.
Yeah. So we've got Miss Irrelevant here, Sylvia Stachira, who is, I believe, the winner of Top Chef Poland. And oh my God, where do I begin? So, first of all, winner, so not going to be hungry. Secondly, though, she won Top Chef Poland and Polish food. I mean, that's worse than Brazilian food. So, not stoked about that.
Arguably worse than English food, man. That's Poland as well.
Yeah, she made the best, pierogies.
Pierogi.
Jesus.
She made the best cheese pierogi of the group.
This one tasted slightly less like vomit. Anyways, also, she doesn't spell her name correctly. That's not how you spell Sylvia. Secondly, it's also, she has the worst profession of all.
Yeah.
She's a teacher. She has a cooking school. You know that
saying? And she's a self-proclaimed consultant, dude. Cooking school and consultancy. No way.
Horrific. Those who can't teach, and those who can't teach consult.
I like that.
Hilarious, given both our lines of work. But it is, not a great pick. Look, I wouldn't have picked her, but I think sometimes the people we think that go home first sometimes surprise us.
Look, she might make it to week 3, but this line from her bio: she works as an independent consultant, lectures at the University of Lublin in Poland.
it's like
Lublin. Designs tasting menus and occasionally works as a private chef. Dude, she hasn't cooked in a minute. She's gonna get smoked. Yeah, no. She was at the bottom with a bullet.
This is bad. This is really bad. She's got a family and a 3-year-old daughter, so she's not even a single mom, so we can't even go off with that.
What? Jesus Christ.
No, dude, it's not like I'm not wishing that upon her. I'm just saying, from a narrative perspective, it's not strong. It's just not strong. So, yeah.
All right. Real quick. So we have our picks. You should recap the teams, but then I'm going to quickly go over the scoring system and what we'll be looking for week to week.
Okay, gonna do a quick recap of the teams. Team Saul is Boudeleau, Don Burrell, Nicole Gomes, Luciana Berry, LOL, Ali Al-Ghazawi, Amar Santana, Gabriel Rodriguez, and Charbel Hayek.
Yeah, I'm happy. I think we might be a top heavy team. I'll
Yeah,
say
definitely.
if I had switched Luciana for Dale, I'd feel a little bit better here. But overall, I think we got some mix of like strong stalwarts, well known quantities in Buddha, Don, and Amar. Some interesting, experienced players in Nicole and Luciana, the hometown hero, and then some young potential talent. Gabrielle, I like the Gabrielle and Ali 1-2 punch. Two young dudes who have like been at the top of the Top Chef mountain or near it and have some interesting cuisine backgrounds. I feel like there's a good balance here that I'm liking.
I think the underbelly of your team is soft as hell, bro. But I agree. You're top heavy, and honestly, as we've seen, one or two players can really make a difference, and you've got some threats. You've got some threats.
Yep.
All right, Team Luca, it's Sarah Bradley, Tom Gutter, Sam Albert, Dale McKay, May Fatanan Thong Thong, Victoire Louis. Oh, I'm saying that perfectly.
No, you said it perfectly. Yeah, no. I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at something else.
Victoire Gulubi, Begonia Rodrigo, and Sylvia Stachira.
Dude, your team's just not that intimidating, man.
No, I'm not going to lie. I'm shitting it, mate. As I read that, I was like, I've made some horrible mistakes.
Tom Gunther as your number 2 pick. Yeah, no, I was reading your team. I was like, yo, this is dude, you're like the Oklahoma City Thunder, but with no potential talent. You're like the Houston Rockets, and you're like, I guess this is happening. Whereas I feel like I've got I got the Warriors, man. I got some Steph, Clay, Buddha, Don talent here. Oh, I'm feeling good. I think you fucked this up.
Reading it back, having you have both Buddha and Don is a scary proposition.
Oh yeah.
However, the thing is, there's just so many unknowns. I could Dale McKay could be incredible. You know?
No, he actually could though. He actually could. I'm worried about him. So the way the scoring will work is each week, of course, as we know with Top Chef, there's typically a quickfire and elimination. Quickfire challenge, the winner gets 3 points, the winning contestant, and if you're in the top 3 of favorite dishes, you get 1. So typically 2 other contestants get 1 point, the winner gets 3. The elimination challenge, the winner will get 10 points, top 3 placement gets 5, or if a team wins, all the team members get 5. If you're in the middle, not top, not bottom, you get 2 points, bottom 3 gets 0, elimination is -5. Now, we do have last chance kitchen points as well, which I assume is happening this season too. If you move on to last chance kitchen, you get 1 point. If you're eliminated, you get -1. And look, last season, you actually had a contestant who was on last chance kitchen for 5-6 weeks, came back and earned you some additional points.
Yeah.
As a whole, the thing that determines it, and I should say, the overall winner, 25 points. It's a big bump from winning the overall competition. I will say the key here is having players in the game. You want people in it, and this is gonna be fun, man. Last year we were playing with our partners, girlfriends, and we therefore each only had like 3 or 4 players each, and it was people would drop fast. 8 contestants each, I think, will make this a cool, sustainable game. I think we'll be.
No, we've got rosters.
Yeah,
we got rosters, man. Okay, so what we'll do is, we'll periodically update folks on this pod when we're doing other segments, and then probably we'll do like a midpoint check-in and then a post-finale recap or something.
Oh yeah, I think we need a pre and post finale. We need to when we have the folks going into the finale. I think that's a good time to check in, and then bragging rights after the finale.
There we go. That's good. And also, what are we betting?
Oh, great question. Really a question for you. I will say that some kind of dinner, Officina Brera style, to bring it full circle in LA seems appropriate.
I think we have to bet Officina Brera. I think that's it.
Does it have to be that though? It's not my favorite place. No, wait. What was the multi-Michelin star restaurant that was number 1 on Jonathan Gold's last top 100 list? I can't remember now. Vespertine.
I'm pretty sure that place is done. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's done.
Happy to contribute to the LA Food Pod with my deep knowledge of the Silly's list.
Nothing. Yeah.
Hey! No, it's open. Look at you. Look at me.
Is it really? Okay, fine.
It's still open.
All right, the winner of our Top Chef Fantasy we gets Vespertine, finally.
Oof, pricey. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, man. Okay, dude, thank you so much for coming on, and I would say good luck, but I don't mean it.
Yeah, and I don't need it, given my team relative to yours. I'm feeling great. I'm looking forward to my free dinner yet again, and I'll see you soon, bud.
All right. Well, Top Chef airs tomorrow night. That's Thursday, March 9th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and Pacific. So be sure to tune into Bravo. And we're not being sponsored by them, so this is just really sad, but we're plugging it anyways.
There you go. All right,
Man, take care.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the LA Food Podcast. Top Chef airs tonight. It's on Bravo at 8 p.m. If you like what you heard today on the podcast, go give us a like and a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to find me, you can go to Instagram and TikTok and search at the LA Countdown. That's TheLACOUNTDOWN.